All right, so where are we? We are at a point now where we need to cut some guitars, I think. Guitar should be played within a drum environment so that you can be in a certain pocket, which is what we talked about in the last one. So, let me listen to this and see. Okay. I think I might want to take it down a half step. This is where we want to play with stuff like that, because once we lay the guitars, we're not going to want to change the key or the tempo. So at this point, the tempo and the key should be locked in stone as much as anything can be locked in stone ever. Yeah, let's try it down. So what I'm going to do is go to transpose right up here, and I'm going to go down. I just grabbed that and pulled down, and it knew that what I was trying to do. So we went from C sharp to C. I think I like this key better. And by the way, right now I just have ideas of what the song is how the song is gonna go. I only have some ideas that are enough to let me know what to do with this. When I made that okay, cool. So now I have a theme and then the chord progression so I can write to it. So let's see, I need to take it in this key at this tempo, which is 77, to Pro Tools. As I said before, Pro Tools is where I like to do my audio because it is basically a tape machine in the digital realm. Okay? So how do I do that? Well, let's see. I don't want to just take this little bit. I want to take at least 4 rounds of it. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. That was a Apple F. It just merged. Oh, it made a folder out of all those. Look at that. You can make folder tracks in Logic now. That's crazy. That's something Cubase did in like 2000, like 16 years ago or something. And programs are just getting around to it. I was a Cubase guy before I went to Pro Tools and Logic and all that. And it's incredible. All right, so let's say not 15. Let's say 3. So I can just have 4 good rounds of that. Now, I'm going to pull this out because that's what it's going to give me. It's going to give me up until the end of that. So I'm going to give myself some room for little fade outs happening here. As you can see, still some audio playing. I don't want it to stop abruptly. That's just me being anal. It really doesn't matter. Most of what I record is going to be in here somewhere. So let me see. Give me a bar to start with before it starts. Yeah. Hey. Now, I'm playing the guitar, so I'll probably never need this again. No, that's gonna be a guitar. I always knew it was gonna be a guitar, but I needed to hear it to make the drums like I wanted to make the drums. I believe that the verse is gonna be the same chord progression as the chorus. Okay? And of course I'm going back in time now because I know what I did with this record. It's like a cooking show. It's already in the oven. But I'm making it now, so I'm really thinking like I'm making it, I think I want to make the bass a separate file. I'm just gonna play the guitar. You gotta plan, like, especially when you're going in and out of programs like this. I'm going to play the guitar to the drums and have the bass optionally if I want to hear it. So this is how I'm gonna do that. Mute the bass for now. I could have done that with the mute button, or I could do that with the M button. With the M button, I'm muting the regions. And the track is still cool, so I could unmute just this one if I wanted to, and it'd come in there. Oh, hey! Okay, we'll get back to that. not really supposed to play right now. But that's there too. We'll talk about that later. That's a whole different drum sequence we'll come back and do when that's necessary. But that's playing in the background on some other tracks that are hidden, whatever. This H right here is high tracks. So a lot of the tracks in this song are hidden just for teaching purposes. I'm only showing you what we're working on right now. But it seems as if some of the tracks that are hidden aren't muted. So it's still playing right there, which is fine. I'll just let that. It's actually kind of cool. So I'll let that happen. Yeah, muted that. I think I'll do that just to be thorough. I still want to unmute those. So it gave me that little dot on the track right there to let me know it's muted, even if I mute the track. It's pretty cool that you still know that you got that going on. So anyway, let's bounce that. Bounce means to create a stereo 2-track. That's what we call a stereo mixdown, left and right. I'm making a 2-track of this. So I'm taking the 2-track to Pro Tools to record the guitar to, because I don't want to record the guitar in Logic. We talked about that, okay? We've been over this. So, bam. Now where do I want to put it? You know what? I want to put it on the desktop. That works for me. We're going to call it another 15 drum stem. It's another thing to call it stems. Stems is not necessarily single things, but mixdowns of parts of a song. So you might have a string stem that's a 2-track of just the strings that you mix. So you mix the strings relative to each other, and then you take that whole mix of the strings and you 2-track that and you mix that against the track. That's kind of what you're doing when you send them all to a bus and you adjust the bus anyway, right? But you need less resources or fewer resources. You can think of it both ways, actually. When you're only dealing with a 2-track instead of all those tracks, and it also creates less clutter on the screen, which folder tracks also help with. So anyway, I'm saying a lot right now, but this is a video and you can just keep watching it until all that kicks in. I know. Anyway, another 15 drum stem. Wow. All right, I'm not making this super long because I could actually duplicate this in Pro Tools anyway. I could have just done one and this wouldn't take very long at all. But I just like to have at least 4 so I don't have to do any duplication. When I get there, I can just start recording guitar. All right, so we got that. Now I just want the bass. So it's going to start from 0, right? And it's going to end at measure 39 for everything. So when I line it up in Pro Tools, everything lines up because it all starts from the same place. If I were to move this here, that file would now have to start there, and I'd have to figure that out when I got there. Make that constant. Make sure everything is simple. I want to bounce just the bass now. So make sure that's soloed like I need it to be. Yeah, that instrument's really loud. What I like to do, look at that. That's crazy. I like to pull that down from here and then put the fader up. When the fader is up, you can make smaller adjustments, because when the fader is all the way up, the percentage of the adjustment is different. So you can, when it's down here, from here to here is 100%, right? Think of it that way. When you're here to here, it's much less of a percentage. So it works that way. You'll notice that when you have the fader higher and the original signal lower, that's called gain staging. Then, yeah, like I have it at 0 now. But when you do that, it makes for a cleaner signal, and it also makes you able to adjust more finely in the mix. All right, so sine bass, that's all I want. I'm just gonna bounce that. All right, bounce, bam, PCM. That just means full quality wave, or AIF or whatever. I'm gonna go with waves, 24-bit, 44.1. I usually go 48. I'm gonna go 48, which means the other one was it'll convert it anyway in Pro Tools. It really doesn't matter now. None of this stuff am I keeping the way it is. Another 15. Bass. That's the most 90s way to say bass. The most 90s hip hop or R&B way to say bass. Bass. Pump up the bass. Right? People really used to talk like that on records. But that's when music was music, though. All right. Sample rate conversion, whatever. All right, cool. So what I need to know before I leave, tempo 77. Cool. That's pretty much it. All right, I'm out of here. I really don't have to leave. You know what? I'm not going to leave. Most people who have Pro Tools HD would not be able to have Logic and Pro Tools open at the same time, because when Pro Tools is using the sound card, Logic can't. Pro Tools is stingy. It doesn't let others use the sound card when it's using it. But Logic and every other program I know is actually like this. They're fine with you playing the computer audio while you're doing this or whatever. You have to do workarounds of Pro Tools and go into the import dialog and play it from within there, because only Pro Tools can use the card. Well, I have two different audio interfaces. So this one is using my 11 rack, and Pro Tools, which I'm opening now, will be using my Pro Tools HD interface, which is not a DigiDesign or Avid interface. It is a Lynx Aurora 16. I love it. The Aurora 16 allows me to have 16 ins and 16 outs at the same time. If I were to get a DigiDesign 192, which is a lot of times what comes with Pro Tools, I could have 16 ins or 16 outs and 8 of the other thing. 16 ins and 8 outs, or 16 outs and 8 ins. I can't have 16 of both. The Aurora 16 comes with both, okay? And Pro Tools sees it as two 192s. So Pro Tools doesn't know that I have a Lynx Aurora. It thinks it's 192s, but I do. Shh. Don't tell Pro Tools. Pro Tools is open. Look at that. I'm gonna go to new session. When I go to new session, it's gonna ask me, do I want to use a template or do I want to make it blank? I have not been working this long in this industry to be starting from scratch. So I'm gonna use Bluetooth template. That says WIP. That stands for work in progress, because the template is always a work in progress. I'm actually never gonna change that. It's kind of understood. I did that because there were two of them at the time, so I wanted to make a distinction. But it's good that that's there, because the template is always a work in progress. I might find a reverb one day that I want to use on all my records. I'll just change the template and put that in there, and that's my Bluetooth template. Bluetooth template is made the way that I record. It's based on my workflow, right? And my workflow is super fast and fine-tuned, which is why it's always a work in progress, because I'm always fine-tuning. It's never done. 24/48, that's usually what I do. Bam. All right, we're in Pro Tools now. Hey, you know, I just pulled that in. I didn't even show you what I was doing. It's, you know what? I'm off my game, man. I'm off my. Shake it off. Get your head in the game, Griggs. All right, so here's the bounces that I made. I'm pulling those in here. Okay, but the first thing I did was click on that little squiggly and make the tempo 77. It's going to be 120. Okay, not. It's going to be 120 when you first start it. You're going to want to make that the tempo that you had in Logic Cubase, Ableton, another session in Pro Tools, whatever you brought it in from. Okay, so here we go. And you can see that the lines are lining up to where the bass is and stuff like that. I'm gonna not mute that until I turn it down, because you can see it is loud as the drums all by itself. So I'm gonna do that and then say, hey. Yeah, yeah, come on, yeah. All right, here we are, face to face. A couple of silver spoons. All right, for those who don't know what that is, they just think what is he talking about? But it was a song, it was a theme song. Anyway, that's what Google's for. Reference track and reference track duplicate are just tracks in my template, so I don't have to create all that. In Pro Tools, it takes a little bit to route stuff and to create new tracks and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more intensive a process than other programs, so I like everything I need just to be there. And then I just show it when I need it. Like if I'm cutting vocals, I'm gonna need vocals and I'm gonna need stacks. Actually, show and make active, I'm going to need vocals now. Right, but I'm gonna call it I'm gonna call it Taylor, because my acoustic is a Taylor, because I'm a Taylor guy. I like Taylors, I like the way they sound. Okay, I like the fact they're not too bright. They got some body to them. I can mix them, make them warm. All right, all right. So okay, that's set to SSL comp left, which is where I bring in my sound from. I got it patched already, I believe. Let's see if everything is right. Okay, that didn't give me a ridiculous amount of feedback and embarrass me in front of you guys. So it seems to be cool. Still kind of loud. Okay, so what I do to record my electric guitars is I do that with my 11 rack, which is my secondary audio interface as well, which is pretty cool. It's made for guitar, and it can pretty much sound like you need it to. Okay, is there some better stuff out there? Probably, yeah. I can think of one thing right now that I think would be better as far as emulating amps and stuff. But dude, at the end of the day, it's what you play, all right? It's not the amp you played it through, okay? After a certain point where it sounds like it needs to, it's really you getting down and doing your thing. So I'm not really a gear guy to the point where I gotta have the latest thing or anything. I just gotta have the sound I want, and once I have it, I don't need nothing else. Okay, I'm perfectly happy with my 11 rack. It does the trick quite well, actually. So okay, let me. By the way, here's my Les Paul, guys. Bam. She's a beaut, I know. Oh, look at that. Do we need to tune? You know what? I think we need to tune. So I'm gonna go here. You know what? I'm not gonna record my Taylor first. So I'm gonna call this Les Paul. I sometimes call it what the instrument is, and I sometimes call it what the sound is. Like I might call that guitar theme, or I might call it Les Paul. Just remember what guitar I played it on. I think I'm gonna go with the Les on this one. So that's gonna be now that's a clean signal. That's what I call a nice clean signal. Put the bass back in. Okay. Woo! What? Okay, but we should tune before we just start recording. All right, so I'm gonna put the tuner on the second one. Okay, DSP guitar tuner. Okay, that works. If I would have made it native, it wouldn't have worked. But that's just because there's not a native plugin. There's not a DSP plugin that's first on the chain. Remember, it goes from top to bottom. So if I put any old DSP plugin above that, for some reason the guitar tuner will start working. Or you can make it DSP and it will work. Either way, I think it's my B string that's out. Yeah. I like the stretch tune. Stretch tuning is when your low strings are a little flat. And your high strings are a little sharp. Perfect. G is the only one that's actually tuned perfectly. Come on, buddy. There you go. This is one of those instances where perfection is not exactly perfect. There are many of those instances in music. I'll take it, right? So, oh yeah. Alright, so that was me just not doing very well at guitar at all. So let me see what that sounds like now that it's tuned. Okay. That was nice. Started a little early on that one. Wow. Almost. That was a pretty good one. That was actually a really good one. A little early. Oh. Hold on. Let me see what happens if I copy that and paste it there. I don't think that was a one. Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I see. That would probably be there. Oh wow. It's actually, it sounds really good, but a guitar could never do that. Alright, so we need to learn about fades now. Two things we need to learn about: fades and pre-roll. Right? So I have it set to no pre-roll right now because I really didn't need it to start playing before I started recording, because I'm just going to play later anyway. So, but if I wanted that to happen, that is Command K, as you just saw on the screen. Right, so my transport, which is this guy right here. Transport means play, stop, fast forward, rewind, pause. Right? That's your transport. So I pulled out my transport window and it says pre-roll equals 1 bar. I can make that half a bar by doing this, right? So wherever I put that cursor, it's gonna happen right 1 bar before that, before it starts recording. I like that. That's nice. I think I want to fall down on that last part, so, which is why I need pre-roll, but it's also why I need to hit the button under escape right here and go to slip up here, right? So that I am not snapping to the grid when I place my cursor down. I want to record right there, exactly right there. All right. So if you notice, the wave goes up to about the same point here, which is good. But if the wave was cut off here and started back down here, then it would produce a click that's not musical at all and sounds terrible. It only happens in digital space, because in actual real life, a sound can't go down without going to zero. It can't just stop here. It has to go to zero. So you never hear that click in real life, but in the digital realm, you can cut off a file anywhere. So it could be at the top of it. If it's at the top of it, the click's just louder. Okay? So there might be an almost inaudible click happening there. So what you do, you just do yourself a favor. Sorry. I know. I had to, though. Oh, you know what? The problem with that is, that I don't have it in slip. I have it in grid. Yeah. See what it did to that? Can't have a click there. It's not even possible anymore. All right, so that's going to be that part. Okay. Let me hit B. All right, which makes that its own part, separates it from everything else. And then what I'm going to do, see, I'm going to take that and put it where I want it. I want it somewhere over here. I don't know. All right, cool. So 1, 2, 3. Right, so now I'm going to select from there to here and hit Apple D, which is duplicate. Looky there. Sorry, I shouldn't have the mic on. Alright, so whatever. So only reason I'm doing this first is because when I'm playing the acoustic guitar, it'll be cool to hear that if I want to. I'll probably mute that while I'm recording it and then just unmute it and see what it sounds like. It's a really, really powerful signal. Alright, cool. Bring that down a little bit. Let's see what delay 1 will do to it. See, that delay is already in my template. I didn't have to put that down there. That would have taken me 70 clicks. Not really 70, but too many clicks. More than this. Alright, it's already tempoed out. Okay, little verb. That's my very short verb. That's one of my secrets. Very short verb, right? I'll show you what verb that is. That is actually true verb, but this is all the way down. The decay time is 0.2, okay? That is there only to make something sound bigger. You only really hear that when you take it away. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's with it. That's without it. It just sounds bigger with it. Just sounds more present. It's a bigger sound. Use that on whole tracks, like whole songs. Mastering reverbs are short, so they just make the whole thing sound thicker. I have that and another reverb, which is, yes, I love that reverb. It's from Native Instruments, people. RC48. It's made by SoftTube for Native Instruments. SoftTube, Native Instruments. All right. So let's hear what that sounds like on it. Let's hear without the delay so you can really hear what's happening to it. Or with just 3. Pretty short. Alright, cool. I'm just, playing around. See? It's time to record acoustic. Now remember, the original idea. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay exactly true to that original idea. Everything else is going to be based on that. So let's go do that. All right. All right. Almost sound like Macy Gray.
Bluetooth, did you ever hear the song called 50 Cent in the Club?
Alright, so I'm not really gonna get into miking techniques and all that right now. That's a whole nother video. But I will say, don't let it be too close, right? You want it to be facing about where the neck meets the body of the guitar, right there. And not too close. Because when it's too close, it sounds sterile and muddy and dynamics are gone. It's not as clear, you know? If you get a little noise, find a happy medium, you know? Get your signal to noise ratio as wide as you can without getting too close to the guitar. All right, now, I'm going to show you how to do this in another video too, but I'm going to remote control my studio with my laptop. That's the beauty of technology, guys. I'm going to put a stack on there. One stack, just so I can put that I recorded before on there. Okay, cool. There's 4 of those. Bam. Okay, cool. That will not have those awesome effects right now because it will, however, be ridiculously loud. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we're in C. Okay, I can use a little more level on this. I would adjust that in there for recording level, but right now I'm just going to do that. Remember, I already have this. I'm just doing it for the purposes of showing you. I'm way out of tune, guys. I'm ridiculously out of tune. You know what? I am going to put this a little closer, just so I don't have to make it ridiculously loud. I need to get a new mic stand, because this one, to be honest with you guys, it kind of sucks. Let's see what that does. F, C. Alright, that's kind of getting in my way of hearing what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to do that. That first chord was good. I should have kept it. Oh, you're stupid. Here we go. There you go. That was actually a pretty good take. Okay, so I want to loop record right there. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay, I don't need to be tapping my feet right now because the mic will pick that up. It's probably picking that up too. Wow. Preferences. Automatically create new playlists when loop recording. I love it. Okay, we're gonna put a little pre-roll on that. Oh my goodness, please don't tell me. Oh my God, I can't get that back. I hate it when that happens. My engineer just rolled up. Bam! Dun, dun. Alright, cool. So, I think that's where it starts. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Let's do that. So this is where that starts. All right, let me loop record right there. Wait. I need my pre-roll. Okay, what's happening now is my hand is like dying because playing acoustic guitar is crazy on the left hand. Having a bar and playing the chords, guitarists know what I'm talking about. All right, whatever. So playlist should have been created. So let me look at it in playlist mode. Bow. Look at that, I got playlist cracking. Now, I'm gonna show you how to create a comp from those playlists. Okay, so we're back in Pro Tools. And I'm about to make a comp out of this. So let's solo it and see what we got. Let's just select that. Solo it, make sure playback is looping. I don't really want to loop record anymore. Loop playback, good. In order to loop playback, we cannot be in record mode. So I have to take that off. Or I think we can be in input mode, but we can't be in record mode. All right. Okay, what's happening now is my hand is like... Okay, that was horrible. All right, so that one just needs to go. All right, cool. I was wondering why I was playing so badly. Like, okay, right here, I know I need... Just turn the pre-roll off. Let's see if that works. Push that up there. Seems to work. Okay, what's happening now? Okay, that was horrible. So... let's just do this and see what that does. That was actually pretty good. No. Okay, how about this whole take? Okay, something different here though. Horrible. Disgustingly terrible. Let's bring this back to here. Alright, and then see what we got. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I might be halfway decent at playing guitar. I don't know. So right here, I could just hit F and create my fades like we talked about before. All right, got fades there. Not gonna have a click, and it is played in the right spot, so those are not fading on top of anything, so that's perfect. Let's go from here to here, listen again, just for the heck of it. Right, okay, so I want to hear that with the Les Paul, so let's do that. Okay, so it's not ba-da-da-da, it's da-da-da-da-da-da. Whatever, I'm gonna use the original one, but I just noticed that. Sounds good though. Let me just duplicate this track so I can have, okay, I don't want any of that though. I do want sends and I do want inserts. Okay, cool. That's really what I'm doing it for, so I can hear the effects on this. That was not what I meant to do. Alt is copy. Control is only go up and down, not left and right. If I hit control before I move it, Pro Tools actually cares what order you do it in. Click, control, now move. Okay, my bad. Control, click, now move. Okay. Come on, Pro Tools. If I put them at the same time, you should know what to do. Anyway, play it from here to there. Almost sound like something. Drums. Okay, so here, now that I hear the drums in, I think I want to nudge these back a little bit. So let me just cut that there by hitting B. You can also hit Apple E and it'll do the same thing. I don't know why. Okay, but these don't need to be moved back to that same degree. I don't like that. Let's do that. Okay, I like that less. That's the same thing. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Okay, that's gonna require something I really didn't want to do, but let me see if it works. Really? Yeah, no, it's terrible. I kind of like how that lags a little bit, but yeah. I could also do this. Watch this. It is the same up until that point. probably would have worked, but. And it worked. Wow, that worked really well. Woo! Okay, it's nudging by too much for me, so I'm gonna go by samples. It's my nudge. I'm gonna go down to 50. All right. Yeah. All right, so now we need to take this back to Logic. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate that playlist. All right, so I still have the one I just did right here. I'm gonna consolidate that. Shift Alt 3. That's called consolidate. Makes one file out of all of it. So now I can go here where it's highlighted. Hit this here. Say export clips as files. And actually I'll do that to both of them. Let's go there. I want them to start in the same place. So I'll do the same thing here. Bam. Export clips as files. Let's put them in a folder on the desktop because there's more than one file. Call it blah, blah, blah. Okay, that sounds amazing. 24. I don't know. Sure, whatever. It should convert to whatever Logic has going on when I get it there. I'm gonna leave that open. No, I'm gonna close it. Definitely save that. And I never close Logic. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so now that I'm in Logic, I'm gonna go to blah, blah, blah. Get these 3 files. I don't know why there's 3 files because I thought I made 2, but we're gonna find out now. Create new tracks. Bam! What? What is that? What? Do 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 do. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I really don't need this. I'm gonna just get rid of it. All right. That is louder than anyone has ever been. Yeah. Alright. So I could just do that about 2, 4, 6, 7 times. Whoa. Okay, it's about time to write down. Now I can. Yeah. That's all I need. Like, to loop that right there is really all I need. Really that much. Really that much. Right. Get the program logic, okay? A cool thing to see what this sounds like with it. See, now that that's being handled, before I write, I might play some melodies and see if I like it. I don't know, but I do notice that this right here is getting in the way. Whatever. Alright, I'm gonna write. Next phase is going to be laying a scratch vocal. It's gonna sound horrible. Y'all gonna hear me sound horrible. Because I don't care what I sound like. It's just so the vocalist can learn the song.